Vamos a continuar Stanley Parable. Iba a decir capítulo 2, pero lo va a hacer los dos juntos, así que eso. Bueno, son las 10. Pero ¿por qué? Vale. Y 37 minutos. Vale, ahí está. Perfecto. Hola. ¿Qué es, Sammy? Antes de que empecemos te puedo decir algo. Gracias por configurar ahora las 2 veces que iniciaste el juego. Mucha gente no se toma en serio este paso, deja el reloj en 12 y siguen adelante. Te tomaste el tiempo de configurarlo y te lo agradezco. Ahora sé que esta experiencia es importante para ti y estás prestando atención. Ni siquiera tengo forma de saber si la hora que pusiste es la correcta. ¿Sabes algo? Hagamos un trato. Como cooperaste, la próxima vez que inicie el juego y veas esta pantalla, pon tu hora favorita en el reloj. Adelante, elige la hora que quieras. Aunque no sea la correcta, te lo ganaste. Bien, yo te dejo que vuelvas al videojuego. Vale. Iniciamos.
This is the story of a man.
Esto ya lo vi. Hola de nuevo, trofeo ganado. Vale, aquí estamos.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Vale, perfecto. New content. ¿Vamos aquí o al otro lado? Vamos a entrar aquí.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show
Vamos a ver qué nos muestra. A ver dónde nos lleva. El ascensor este, todo cagado.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Épico. Y cuando saquen a Stanley Parable 2, se llamará Stanley Parable 2.
Isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Vale, perfecto. En el anterior...
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can
estará junto con este capítulo, lo dejamos por aquí, por eso va a continuar, así que lo haya visto, que salte 5 minutos adelante.
It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Reassurance Bucket. Please no screenshot.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration.
Que no saque screenshot. Vale, voy a sacar un screenshot,
Get well someday and happy 12th birthday.
Voy a sacar un screenshot, Vamos a seleccionar este globo esta vez.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
Ah, siempre me quita la razón, La anterior vez era el otro globo.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Épico. Vale. Opening. ¿Esto qué es?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down.
¿En qué me fijé?
That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like.
No,
A stunning
no
leap
voy a ir al
forward for
agujero.
video games as a medium.
Vamos a ver otra cosa que sea totalmente inútil. ¿Cómo no? ¿Qué queremos? Exit. Nos largamos. Ya me tiene amargado. Nos marchamos a ver qué nos dice.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? Oh, goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket
La
exhibit.
exposición del
You
balde.
see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay?
¿Dónde está el bucket?
All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
¿Dónde está el cubo? Dime. A ver. ¿Dónde tiene el cubo este hombre? Lo tiene ahí. ¿Y esto? Las camisas ahí cagadas. Cagadas no, pero muy básicas.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it.
Pero ahí no hay nada.
I am happy to say that after
¿Se lo
much
llevaron o qué?
consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley
Si nos
Parable
largamos.
Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley,
No me deja
anytime
salir,
you're
¿eh?
holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even
déjame
come to
coger el
long
cubo.
for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Vamos a probarlo, a ver. No, no vamos a probarlo. A ver. ¿Por qué no me deja irme? A ver.
You feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face
Vale, a ver,
of
¿qué nos
crushing
podemos llevar? ¿Cosas
despair,
aquí?
must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
¿Yo para qué quiero el cubo? ¿Me lo va a poner en la cabeza? ¿O qué? Vale.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Vale, ahora nos podemos marchar, ¿no? Sí. Yo creo que sí, ¿eh? Todo lo demás lo mismo. A ver. Seguro que nos hace algo ahora, ¿eh? Ya está. Hay como una especie de mochila ahí que se han olvidado. Vale. No screenshots. Please, no screenshots. Pues otro screenshot. Ahí está.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
A ver qué saca.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Un pedazo de juego, ¿eh?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley?
Nadie cada...
This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right,
Vale,
Go ahead. Take a look.
No, y me saca del juego, en serio. Bueno, tiene esta configuración aquí, ¿eh? Épico. A ver. O sea, que está el juego... Está la secuela del juego escondida dentro del juego.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building
Mira,
where
el
he
tipo
was
usa los globos.
employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons
No
to
cambia
push,
nada, ¿no?
how long
La
to
vaca, la de los
push
globos.
them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might
Trabajo
have considered it
administrativo.
soul-making, Stanley relished every moment that
Literalmente.
the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Stanley
He had been
Parable
at his
2.
desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one
Vale, es lo mismo. Ahora,
all of
pero
his
ahora tenemos
coworkers were
globos.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
Recupérate
simply
pronto,
missed a memo.
recupérate de qué. Se le deformó el culo de tanto estar sentado ahí. Ok. Bueno, aquí está el cubo. Sería una pena que lo dejáramos ahí, ¿no?
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up.
No,
Why
no,
was
no,
he
no.
not doing it?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he
A la
entered that this
izquierda,
was
muy
not
bien.
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes,
No, yo no quiero
truly
mirar
a
este
room
lugar.
worth admiring,
No
but
se puede usar la
eager to
máquina
get
de
back to
refresco.
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Primera puerta a la izquierda. A la izquierda. Ah, por ahí. A ver.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired
Dijo a la
years ago.
izquierda, pero no con la izquierda. Ah,
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm
oh,
not.
mira, por ahí hay un
I
camino,
realize
¿eh?
that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has
¿Y
been
ese
about
camino?
nothing but you
No lo
all
había
this
visto, ¿eh?
time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something.
¿Y
Do you
cómo
have
llega hasta
zero
allí?
consideration for others? Are you that
¿Y esta
convinced that
parte?
I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you
Necesito una
something
tarjeta, ¿eh?
beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Vale, vamos a ver. ¿Qué ha cambiado del juego original? No, antes solo vi los globos y el cubo.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, mira, aquí hay algo, ¿eh?
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Literalmente. Ahora no recuerdo por cuál tenía que ir.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
No,
Don't you
estoy
see that it's
encerrado,
killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped.
Abre.
And I think I have a solution. Here,
No se
let
abre,
me
¿eh?
show you.
¿Por cuál vamos? No. Está todo negro. ¿Qué pasó?
What do we want? What are we looking for?
¿Tú qué es?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel
Ya, me está reventando los ojos.
I actually feel happy.
Los alienígenas. Nos están lavando el cerebro. Los alienígenas. O algo de eso, ni idea. Ahora que me va a caer un meteorito encima. Un montón de lucecitas.
No, wait. Where are you going?
¿Cómo que a dónde voy? ¿A continuar?
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Pero si no va a
Please,
pasar
no,
nada.
Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Si salto, me mato, ¿no? ¿Y esta puerta? No se puede abrir. ¿Qué pasa? Si volvemos. A ver. No, si salto se va a reiniciar todo. Ah,
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here. No! What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You heard me before, didn't you? You will
Va a saltar.
die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
que me dé un enderpell o algo de eso.
No!
Para el lobby.
Oh,
Ah, no morí.
thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
No. No quiero volver a las luces.
No. No, no. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Volvamos a por el cubo.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that, my God? Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill
Abrimos la
yourself
puerta,
to keep me
salta.
from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Ábreme la puerta.
Maybe you're just getting
¿Para
a
que soy
kick out of
inmortal?
it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
No sé. Pero... De eso va el juego. De sacar muchas cosas.
Is it over?
¿Qué pasó?
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Todo por las lucecitas, ¿eh? Aquí estamos de nuevo.
All of his co-workers were
¿Y el
gone.
cubo?
What could it mean?
Ah, está en
Stanley
otro lado.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket.
Vale, recogí el balde, pero ¿para qué?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No puedo volver atrás.
This was not the
No.
correct way to the meeting room, but
Quería
Stanley had
salir.
felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Vale.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
¿Me puedo llevar las
Yes,
bebidas?
Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
No me puedo llevar cosas en el balde.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the
Vale.
two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
¿Y este botón? ¿A dónde me lleva?
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
No, otra vez el bebé ese. Dios mío.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen
Mira, aquí
before.
está hasta lo
Yes,
de
I know I'm the one
limpiar
who
los
gave you
lápices,
the
¿eh?
bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Broom Closet. Cuarto de la escoba. Déjame la escoba. Pues me meto aquí. Me voy a quedar aquí por toda la eternidad. Bueno, parece ser que no. Ay. Bueno, tenemos que marchar.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Para que seguir la línea. Vaya música.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley.
Con la
Let's give
cara.
them more content exactly like this. But if we want to
Y
do
eso
that,
cuando
you're
lo
going to
decía,
have
no
to give
entiendo.
something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Destructor
I
de
think it'll
balde.
make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part
Para
of the
todo esto,
cast
para
all
destruir
along.
un
Don't you
balde.
agree?
Dios mío.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
No,
Go
no
ahead
lo voy
now,
a romper.
Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No. Vas a apagarlo.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know
Quiero
what
que
the
le demos al
Bucket
balde, ¿eh?
Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your
¿Y si lo
bucket.
lanzamos?
Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait
está
deserve
pasando?
to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of bucket destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the bucket destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
¿Cómo la apago? ¿Qué pasó?
Bucket destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
¿Morimos? ¿O qué pasó? No me digas que se va a reiniciar. Dios mío, aquí estamos de nuevo, ¿eh? Mira, creo que el reloj está a nuestra hora. O la que pusimos.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Vale, perfecto. Vamos a llevar el balde.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Vale. ¿Y ahora? ¿Por qué tenemos que buscarlo? Vale.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Perfecto. Aquí estamos en la oficina.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Vale, perfecto. Mira, aquí hay otra figura esta. Pero no puedo cogerla.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Vale, perfecto. Vamos para el ascensor. A lo mejor con el cubo podemos hacer otra cosa, ¿eh?
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be
perfecto.
fine.
Tenemos el balde. No sé para qué, pero lo tenemos.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Bueno, aquí estamos otra vez, ¿eh?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place
hold? ¿Lo mismo?
Stanley and the bucket
¿O cambia algo tener el balde? No se enciende nada. Vale, perfecto.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears
Pero
as
si el balde
Stanley
no
cradled
habla, no
it
hace nada.
gently,
¿De qué está
reassuring it
hablando?
that everything would be fine.
Fire. ¿Y eso?
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
Pero si no ha hecho nada, es un
What
balde.
kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the
Se lo
first
pueden poner en
place?
la cabeza.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Vale, perfecto.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Vale, perfecto.
But here was the proof. The heart of the
Tiene una
operation.
luz o algo.
Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking,
Vale,
eating,
ahí está
working,
la
all of it
electricidad.
monitored and commanded from this
Vamos a ver
very
ese cambio al
place.
final al tener el
And as
balde.
the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for
hizo?
itself?
¿Lo hizo el balde o lo hice yo?
Betrayed him like this. Stanley
creo que
was
me está
prepared
lavando
to
el
throw the
cerebro, ¿eh?
bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
No, mira, pollo.
Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
¿Qué tengo que hacer con estos pájaros? Un loro. Un pato.
Stanley flipped
un
through
búho,
one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him.
otro pájaro.
This wasn't a mind control facility
Una
at all.
aberración.
It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly
sé qué es
birds
eso.
all over the world.
Un pájaro
The mind
enfadado.
controls were only a facade to disguise its
pato
true
gallina.
intentions. Had the bucket
Una
known this
especie
all
de...
along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had
Qué cosa
pointed him
extraña.
towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives
¿Esto qué
here
es?
in this place,
Un
flipping
pollo así
through
con las
live
pelas hacia
streams
arriba.
of the silliest birds imaginable.
Los
Of all
pingüinos.
the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And
Otro botón lo hace
Stanley
hacia atrás.
was happy.
Los vídeos, mira, flamenco. Otra vez lo mismo. ¿Y qué pasó? Otra vez, pero yo estaba viendo los pájaros.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley
No sé.
embraced the bucket.
Ahí tenemos nuestro
Stanley
balde.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the
Perfecto.
meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
No, la sala
Had
de
the bucket
empleados,
turned
¿no?
out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the
Vale, y
maintenance
esta vez
section
no
and
vamos a
walked
bajar.
straight ahead to the opposite door.
¿Qué pasa si volvemos? No se puede, ¿no? No. Vale. ¿Y ahora qué está? ¿Estamos encerrados en esta parte o qué?
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can
Quiero el
feel
balde.
that, can't you? The aura of jealousy.
para qué
It's
la
as
quiere?
clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
No hay que
I
darle
know
el
how
balde.
hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right
Es
now,
nuestro
but you have to
balde.
be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. You're
getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket, as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
¿Y cómo? No entiendo.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Pues tenemos ahora nuestro propio cubo. Perfecto.
All right, coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Vale, vamos a subir. Y otra pegatina. ¿Y para qué?
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Vale. ¿Y esto qué es? Yo me voy a encerrar en el baño. A ver. ¿Y ahora qué podemos hacer aquí? ¿Saltamos por la ventana? No. No se puede. ¿Y aquí? Mira, va el sensor. Vale, me parece que está la oficina jefe. Que no le gustan mucho los pandas. Nos largamos. ¿Y para qué tenemos una pegatina de un balde en un balde? ¿Y qué pondrás una pegatina del balde en el balde, del balde, del balde? En la otra pegatina del balde, otra pegatina de un balde para que se sepa que es la pegatina del balde, del otro balde, del balde. ¿O cómo? Pero por estética, entonces la pegatina del balde también debería tener una pegatina del balde, ¿no? Y entonces esa pegatina del balde también debería tener otra pegatina del balde. ¿Por cuánto tarda este ascensor? Dios mío. 1000 años. ¿Pero por qué tarda tanto? ¿Qué? ¿Si subimos? Vamos a subir, a ver. ¿Nos lleva al mismo lugar?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into it, but Stanley guessed the correct code by
Vale,
sheer
perfecto.
luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes,
¿No
this
podemos
is
salir?
certainly the most logical explanation.
Vale. Y ahora bajamos. A ver qué podemos hacer. Parece ser que no cambia nada.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind
Escape.
Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
¿Y si volvemos? ¿Qué pasará?
But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much
Ya
to
ves.
live for.
Si nos largamos.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
¿Qué botón número 3? ¿De qué habla? ¿Para qué? ¿Y ahora?
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the
Botón de
bucket over
número
to the
3.
keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
No. Parece ser que no sirve de nada, ¿eh? Vale. No se puede salir. Dios mío. ¿Y aquí qué hay? Vale.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
¿Qué código?
A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again?
Sí, debemos mostrárselo otra vez, ¿eh? Yo creo que es lo más adecuado.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Vale, perfecto. Hay que enseñarle por qué el número 3 es el número 3 del número 3 de la cosa esa del keyboard.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Vale, volvamos al ascensor. Parece que el cubo no quiere cooperar, ¿eh?
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
¿Cuál solución podremos tener? No entiendo. ¿Se rompió el ascensor o qué? ¿Y si volvemos otra vez? ¿Qué pasará? ¿Ya nos podemos marchar o no?
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know
Qué
how to
pesado,
fully
¿eh?
express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
Me lleva a otro lugar.
For months he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further.
Sí, todo esto tiene que ver con el número 3, ¿no?
Arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
Vale, estas son nuestras películas al parecer. ¿Y ese sonido? La puerta del Minecraft antigua. Vale. Tenemos que ir al escenario. 333. 4
This
de
was
7.
it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
Vale, tenemos que subir al escenario para explicarle por qué el 3 es el número 3.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
¿Cómo tiro el cubo? ¿Qué pasó?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee
Vale, perfecto. Vamos a ver qué pasa si rompemos el cubo. Ya que no nos hacía caso y nos abandonó, vamos a destruir el cubo.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Vamos a recogerlo, ¿eh? El Stanley seat.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler anmarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler anmarines. None of us can.
Qué pico. Y ahora como volvemos. A ver. Nos metemos por aquí a ver dónde nos lleva esto. Uy. ¿Dónde estoy? Vale. Parece ser que es como una especie de almacén, ¿no?
Okay, this is day number 295, tape number... I don't even know.
Y hasta ahora por la
I've
cara.
lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't
¿Quién está hablando?
make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels
Sí,
so...
parece que Stanley se está volviendo loco, ¿eh?
What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
Está el balde ahí.
Caporata.
¿Qué pasó ahora? Vale, parece ser que
Someone was
encontramos...
following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
¿Quién me está persiguiendo? ¿Quién me está siguiendo? Yo no veo a nadie, ¿eh? Parece ser que alguien nos está siguiendo, ¿eh? Vale.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
Tenemos que
Stanley
huir,
knew
¿eh?
it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room?
No podemos
A
conseguir las cosas.
connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
La parte de la derecha es la que hay que ir. Porque la
But
parte de la
eager to get
izquierda...
back to business, Stanley took the
La
first
parte de la
open
izquierda
door
nada
on
más que
his
nos lleva a la
left.
oficina del jefe y a morir. Está todo hecho.
Stanley
Pero
was
aquí
so
tenemos
bad
más
at following
oportunidades.
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been
Quiero
about
saber qué
nothing
pasa
but
si,
you all
si no
this
nos,
time.
si no nos
There's
morimos
someone
en
you've
lo
been
de
neglecting,
Rockabilly.
Stanley. Someone what?
Esta.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Vale,
Look,
perfecto.
let me prove it.
Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
La puerta roja. Si cruza la puerta blanca. No. Vale.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the
La
red
puerta
door.
roja.
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
La
Stanley
puerta
walked.
roja.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Vale, perfecto.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the
Tenemos
map
que llegar a la
because you
zona
were
de
never
Rocket
supposed to
League
be
y
here in the
esta vez
first
avanzar
place.
más, a ver qué pasa.
Broken rooms, exposed developer textures.
Bueno,
Is this
está
what you
bugueado.
wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see?
128.
Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've
Quiero
given me
que lo
absolutely
convierta
nothing so far. Tell you what.
en un
Let me take a
juego
stab in
de...
the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go.
Ay,
The
¿qué pasó?
third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Vale.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me
Como
about
que
your
este juego está
experience with
basado en
this new
Marruecos.
version. Would you say
¿Por
that
qué?
the
No
game
entiendo.
benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous
No sé, yo no he
playthrough,
visto a
I've
nadie en
compiled a
este
new
juego.
version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Vale. Uy. No, eso está mal. No, la deporte, no.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel
No.
motivated to keep walking through doors?
No
Again,
quiero cruzar
honest
puertas
answers,
ahora.
please.
Por culpa
Hey,
de
I
ese
nearly
level.
forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right,
Si
and
nos
if he
quedamos
reaches
las
the
4 horas
fire,
aquí.
you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly
¿Te imaginas?
confronting the demands of family life. I think
Me voy a
the
esconder detrás de la
outworld will
maceta, ¿eh?
really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless
Increíble el juego, ¿eh?
bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the
Vale, ahora nos
experience
va a
for
enviar
me.
a los otros
I'm
juegos.
not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Vale, ahora nos va a enviar al sitio que le extraña.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Perfecto.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy
¿Y
man,
esto nos lo podemos
spying on
ver?
innocent civilians below you from up high in your
Firewatch, no sé,
crypto,
nunca
perhaps for
lo...
some sort of twisted
lo he jugado.
erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
No sé. Pero... Es un lugar extraño. Pero está bonito y épico.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
No puede
It
ser, ¿y
is.
qué?
It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Sí,
Nearly wandered off into
seguramente.
that
Metieron un juego dentro de un
that
juego.
big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong
¿Cómo sabes?
directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
Ahora
Preferably
nos va a
something
enviar el
with
juego de
more
las
walls.
pelotas.
Something with nice, big,
Fútbol coche, gusta.
insurmountable walls.
Ah,
Okay, I
Yo
think
me imagino a la
this will
gente
be
que juega al
just the
Rocket
thing.
League ese. Ahí dice, me gusta coche, fútbol. O algo así. Ojalá
Wonderful. See,
me
this is
mandaran el juego a
exactly what
Blockman.
I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Lo que hay que hacer es no caernos ahí abajo, ¿eh? Solo que la
Okay, so
cagamos la
what
otra vez.
exactly do we do here? Let's
¿Qué
see.
pasa si nos quedamos aquí
There are
agachados y
lots
nos
of cars
aplastan?
here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball.
¿Dónde
Have
está la
fun.
pelota? Lo conseguimos. Medio año tarde, ¿eh?
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley,
No,
I have a
esto es
thought.
peor.
And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
¿Yo
Yes.
para qué quiero
Oh,
otra?
goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm
¿Y dónde está?
insatiable.
Solo hay uno.
More balls.
Épico. Vale, perfecto. Ahora tenemos montones, ¿eh? ¿Y de qué nos sirve tener tantas?
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
¿Por
That's
qué?
right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am structure. I'm your sense of purpose.
No, no.
And since you decided
No
you
nos
didn't
quiere
want to play
dejar
my
jugar a-
game, now I don't
al
want to play
juego
with you
gusta,
either.
pelota,
So,
coche.
goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
¿Y ahora qué hago? No entiendo. Vamos a intentar salir de aquí. A ver. Sí. No, me dejó tirado. ¿Y cómo salimos de aquí? ¿No va a volver o qué? Parece ser que nos abandonó, ¿eh? En el juego de esta pelota coche. No, si salto para allí será lo mismo, ¿eh? Yo no quiero saltar por ahí. Pues será el mismo final. Y casi me caigo otra vez. No entiendo. Parece ser que no pasa nada, ¿eh? Si vamos a la otra, ¿habrá otra cosa distinta? Vamos a ver.
Hold on. What are you doing?
¿Cómo que qué hago?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help
A ver
you.
cómo puedo volver.
How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come.
Vale. Vamos a intentar no caernos. Vale, por ahí está todo oscuro. ¡Ay! Me caí. Estamos otra vez en este lugar, ¿eh? Pero esta vez está más abierto. Vale. ¿Y ahora qué? Vale, 424, 325, 326 y 427, ¿ahora dónde está? Aquí. Es lo mismo. Si reanudamos, vale, perfecto.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Sí, a ese ya entré.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be
¿Cómo se
correct?
llamaba el
Was this-
destructor de balde?
Never mind.
Para
The bucket
destruirlo.
was wrong.
A ver
Stanley
qué
took
pasa.
the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Quiero destruir el balde.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift,
¿Por
yes.
aquí?
Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was
¿era por
speaking
aquí?
to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Perdón.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again
Habitación
obeyed
oscura.
blindly.
¿Para qué? ¿Y
Now
este?
pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
No he muerto. Pero... no sé para qué es esto. No entiendo. No. Hombre, estamos como una especie de casa. ¿Y el balde? Aquí.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Otra vez, pero que nada más que hace sin subir.
Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it would ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
¿Y por qué no? Vale,
You see,
perfecto.
he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Reservar de la otra vez.
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Está encima del ordenador.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket.
¿Por qué
It's
no?
just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
No sé. La primera X para revivir una y otra vez el mismo día.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
¿Qué está pasando?
I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Vale, I'm feeling romantic, God.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
¿Qué pasó? Vuelve al trabajo. Tal. ¿Y nuestro Val?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Stanley clutched the bucket
Vale,
tightly
vamos
to his...
a
This was
destruir
not
el
the
balde.
correct way to the meeting room.
Porque nos está
Stanley had
lavando el
felt the
cerebro.
bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left.
Aquí es donde hay que destruirla,
and so the
¿no?
two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Vale, perfecto. Vamos a destruir el balde para que nos deje estar.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you,
El balde es
Stanley.
una cosa.
We've come together here because we
está
care about you
persiguiendo a
very
Stanley.
much.
Hay que
It's this
destruirlo.
bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
¿Qué pone?
Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the adventure line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that... Whee! Look at that wacky
Vale,
line.
perfecto.
Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh,
Ajá,
and
estoy
it played
mal.
some silly music as well.
¿Qué abrimos, Un cuadro.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Vale,
Don't
perfecto,
you
aquí
get it,
estamos.
Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm
Tenemos que
very proud to
destruirlo de una
introduce a
vez por
brand
todas.
new character.
Librarnos
This
de
is the Bucket
este
Destroyer.
tormento.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
Vale, perfecto.
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the
Vas a
bucket,
destruirlo.
and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
¿Por qué no puedo meterlo?
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't
¿Por
know
qué no
what the
puedo?
Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
¿Y cómo lo
So I
destruyo?
can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality
Pero no
trait
puedo.
deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley
No me deja
Parable
meter el balde.
characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance
No
that
tengo,
it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet?
play.
Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be
Estoy apretando
clamoring
todo.
for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and
Pero
feed it.
coge el
We
balde.
can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer
quiere
until
caer,
you
¿eh?
crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they
No me
want.
deja, ¿eh?
Hurry and...
Vaya cagada. No nos dejo destruirlo.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding...
Salir al menú, a ver qué pasa. Si salimos al menú. Hemos vuelto. Vale, perfecto.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
Empezamos a hacer. ¿Qué pasa si cogemos el balde y nos metemos aquí dentro?
All of his co-workers
No,
were
se cierra la
gone.
puerta.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly
Vale.
to his chest and entered the door on his
¿Y
left.
qué pasa si vamos hacia abajo? Bueno, nos queda una figura, ¿eh? Vale, ya nos metimos.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs
podemos
to the
bajar.
boss's office.
Bueno, aquí está la
And there
última.
it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Vale, perfecto. Tenemos toda la figura.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Pues parece que
Only
ya hemos
because he
hecho
believed
todo, ¿eh?
everyone had vanished?
Lo que
His
se
boss
podía
would
hacer
think
en
he
el
was
juego.
crazy. And then something occurred to
Yo eso
Stanley.
creo, ¿eh?
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing.
Pues espero que les
That's
haya
strange,
gustado
Stanley thought. Usually the
el
bucket is
juego
a
y
source
nos
of
vemos
guidance and wisdom for me in difficult
la
times
próxima.
such as these.